Often, when the alarm goes in the morning, we awake to find a world largely indifferent to our problems. We may not be where we once thought we would be in life. We may not be sure about our direction and how to carve out a life of meaning and worth. We are not alone in this feeling, and indeed there will always be days in which we snooze just that one extra time. However, repeated avoidance of these large questions will only lead further down a path of dissatisfaction, resentment, and mental illness. For in this state, we are letting our most precious resource, time, slip through our hands. Time brings with it the unique realization among humans, the realization of our own inevitable demise. This realization and its implications can have serious repercussions on our ability to imbibe our actions and decisions with meaning and purpose. As to battle this idea is, of course, futile. So, although time, like most precious things, is immaterial, we must endeavour not to take our time lightly. To do this, the only option we have is to take time as it is. We all may know this, and it is easy to reiterate platitudes that are quoted on little clay signs in the homes of the well-meaning, for children to walk past and adults to feign purpose to visitors. However, actually cultivating this kind of attitude does not happen quickly. Indeed, years and definite struggle lay ahead for those wishing to make the best of their lives. Knowledge of this can cause us to develop maladaptive coping techniques, such as anxious avoidance, dissociation, and rationalization. This is because the task or problem at hand is by its nature insurmountable. However, there are simple things we can do to help us cope more effectively and strive towards our own self-realization and overcome the downward pull of escapism that often grows to fill the void. The most simple is to answer the question of time directly. That is, to claim what of it we can. One of the most simple ways we can do this is to build a routine. So then, when we talk about routine, we are not talking about going through the motions. Instead, creating a time and space in our day that allows for the cultivation of practices, ideas, and self-reflection that are not usually encouraged out in the harsh, competitive, and often alienating world of education, work, and social occasions. Waking up early, in and of itself, cultivates an attitude that you control your day, not the obligations of the outside world. This step helps to cultivate a real and deep self-esteem that will be required to take and maintain control of your life. There are many books on how to cultivate the perfect morning. However, here we want to emphasize the importance of consistency. It is, of course, important to have goals regarding what you want to achieve with this new time. However, the more measured you are with your approach, the more successful you're likely to be. We can start by creating some guiding principles for a morning routine that, even if you can't do everything you want to do, that we can follow these principles. Easy as ABC. Now, these principles, ABC, are by no means rules. They're just guidelines to help us develop this new schema. A of our ABC being action. So this might be something like exercise, stretching, yoga, basically energizing your body and getting the blood flowing. B, we have breathe. So this, as a broader perspective, we have meditation, not using screens or your computers, making sure your working area or your bedroom or your kitchen or whatever is clean. And then C, we have contemplation. So this can be journaling or reading. But you may have different priorities and different goals, and so A, B, or C could be slightly different for you. Let's just have a look at a case study. I currently wake up between 8 and 9 a.m. I've spent a bit of time thinking, and all things considered, I'd like my mornings to look like this. Wake up, grab a coffee and read, journal, work out, do some breath work and meditation, followed by some stretching, and I'm ready to have a shower, brush my teeth, and smash the day. This morning may look wonderful, and with preparation you may be able to maintain this kind of routine for a long period of time, and it may be really beneficial to you. However, for an approach of getting to that situation, we want to measure the implementation. So I suggest adding one new thing a week, and at the end of the week, if it was stressful adding that new thing, if it was difficult, if it was challenging, maybe continue that for one more week before you add one more thing. You'll also see in the times here that the goal has a lot of time. The chances of you spending a full 30 minutes journaling, that may not be realistic. However, you don't want to feel pressured in this time. You want to feel productive, energized. So give yourself enough space to move between each thing you're doing, to take longer on one thing, shorter on the other thing, depending on how you feel of that in that day. Because although this is a routine, it shouldn't feel like a rigid cage that you'd have to adhere to. Prioritizing the implementation of these is in the order that you're going to put them into, or the order you consider them most useful, or the things you would most like to implement, may help you with, if you were to wake up late, maybe you missed your alarm, you forgot to put your alarm on or something else, that you would be able to prioritize. Maybe you always want to work out, or you always want to do breath work and meditation. And then if you were to wake up an hour later, those were the things you would implement. And so this kind of implementation where you add one thing a week can be really useful, because if at any point you wake up late, you can just roll back that implementation and add in the most important things you have. Remember, you're not going to be able to just do one thing every day for the rest of your life. It may grow into something more. You may find a career out of one of these things you start doing in the morning. You never know. However, the idea that you'd be able to do this perfectly for the rest of your life just probably isn't realistic, even if you do feel really good after you do it. So just bear that in mind going forward. A meaningful start to the day is by no means a cure to anything. You might not get better grades or a promotion, and the person you like may never notice you. But what it does do is it gives you the time and space to consider what you want for your life and how you want to approach the time that you have. Thanks for watching, guys. That's it for this episode. If you'd like to learn more about journaling and how you can maybe start doing that, there's a link to our other video on journaling in the description. Really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and share the video. Until next time, guys.